The Batman, 2022. When it was announced that Robert Pattinson from Twilight fame was the one to play Bruce Wayne in the 2022 Batman film, fans of The Dark Knight had mixed reactions, to say the least. One could say that he was playing a different type of nocturnal character, going from a vampire to a straight-up bat. But the tone of both films is certainly different. Would Pattinson be able to take on the role, and would Matt Reeves be able to direct it into stardom? Welcome to Binge or Bin, and today we'll be presenting you with our review of Matt Reeves' The Batman. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to turn on notifications for more fantastic movie reviews like today's. Many critics have agreed that The Batman is more than just a superhero blockbuster film. More than an action film, this is a crime drama with unpredictable action, drama, and even a healthy dose of comedy. As expected, The Batman 2022 is based on the DC Comics character of the same name, and is the 9th live-action Batman film. The story begins with Bruce Wayne, aka the Batman, during the second year of his career as the Dark Knight. His quest involves addressing a number of cryptic riddles not too different from the real-life Zodiac Killer, addressed to the Batman on his victims. The mysterious killer has attached these clues as a way to show his point of view. He seems to believe that these are the sources of the systematic corruption affecting the city. The film's cast includes several noteworthy stars. We have Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne / the Batman, Zoe Kravitz as Selina Kyle / Catwoman, Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth, Paul Dano as Edward Nashton / the Riddler, Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon, Colin Farrell as Oswald Cobblepot / the Penguin, and John Turturro as Carmine Falcone, as well as Peter Skarsgård as District Attorney Gil Colson, Jamie Lawson as mayoral candidate Bella Real, and Barry Keoghan in a cameo role that we'll be explaining later. Safe to say, from this point, spoiler alert. Watch at your own risk if you haven't watched the film yet. Pattinson's Bruce Wayne is one of the most interesting takes on the character. Not a rich billionaire heir to a fortune beating poor criminals on the street, but a detached and delusional professional 2 years into the work as Batman. He has great chemistry with Zoe Kravitz, Selina Kyle, matching Bruce emotionally, intellectually, and physically as Catwoman. She's a fighter of her own and one that won't give up the fight so easily. It really is the detective parts of the film that drive the plot forward, though that doesn't mean that all the action scenes aren't exhilarating themselves. The use of light, shadow, and dramatic punch-ups make things more exciting to watch. One of the most thrilling of all is a sudden car chase, where instead of a glossy, high-tech supercar or city-conquering tank, Batman drives a Batmobile that's as unhinged as he is. The start of the plot has its foundations in the murder of a woman, introducing a terrifying backstory for one of the most important women in Bruce Wayne's life. The plot begins on Halloween night, where Gotham City Mayor Don Mitchell Jr. is murdered by a serial killer, the Riddler. Lieutenant James Gordon finds out that the Riddler had left a message for Batman, though Commissioner Pete Savage is against a non-policeman joining the investigation of the crime. Ironic, as this is a first in Batman films, and soon after, Savage is killed by the Riddler too. Turns out that the Riddler has a grudge against the Wayne family, which they find out when Batman and Gordon follow his trail to the ruins of an orphanage funded by Bruce's murdered parents. A letter bomb addressed to Bruce causes Alfred Pennyworth to be hospitalized. The Riddler leaks the evidence that Thomas, who was running for mayor when he was killed, hired mobster Carmine Falcone to murder a journalist for threatening to reveal information about Martha's history of mental illness. This is an important point for Batman, as the idealized image he had of his father and mother causes him emotional turmoil. Seeing Batman not as an invincible superhero, but as a starting out superhero who we see struggling emotionally as the pressure of the case cracks around him, makes for a more intimate film experience with the character. After that, Selina reveals that Falcone is her father, though he's not aware of this. Her roommate, Anika, was strangled because Mitchell informed her that Falcone was the informant, prompting the Riddler to kill Falcone. The Riddler is revealed to be none other than forensic accountant Edward Nashton and is sent to the Arkham State Hospital. He reveals that he was a neglected orphan who resented Bruce Wayne's sympathy after his parents' murder. The Riddler meant to murder the Waynes, but failed to kill Bruce himself and offers a partnership to Batman. He actually idolizes Batman, who inspired him to target the corrupt and rich of the city in the first place. But of course, Batman rejected him. Nonetheless, in a very modern and twisted turn of events, The Riddler had created an online following that's attempting to murder the mayor-elect by setting up car bombs around Gotham. The bombs detonate, destroying the breakwaters and flooding the city. But in the end, they are stopped by Batman and Selina and fail to murder the mayor. The film presents us corrupt politicians and the rich as acceptable victims that deserve little sympathy when their dirty secrets are revealed. Suffice it to say, the family members of these people in society are given more empathy than their dead relatives. The film does one thing that few to none Batman films have achieved, not breaking Batman's no-kill rule. The only film that has successfully done this before is George Clooney, but this time around, Bruce Wayne is actively devoted to staying without any kills. The music, composed by Michael Giacchino, is fantastic. Of particular note is the 6-minute rendition of Batman's theme by Giacchino, mixing all of the powerful emotions that form the Batman's journey: loss, dread, hope, and eventual victory. The fight scenes are strong. There's a scene in a nightclub that's accentuated by bursting red lights, where you can feel every kick and punch can be felt by the audience and serves to drive the plot forward. This one's also another of the film's strongest points. The runtime of the film might be one of its weakest points. It can be expected to last nearly 3 hours, 176 minutes to be exact, given how this was a movie created by the director of Planet of the Apes. But what makes it a bit tedious to watch in the final bits is how the villain is finally taken down only to go 30 minutes further in screen time. The Riddler is a competent villain, terrifying and looking straight out of a horror movie. In fact, many parts of the film can be related to a horror movie plot. Even the horror strings from the beginning set up the story of what's to come. Though a man-child through and through, the Riddler is another breed of the Joker trickster type of villain. The Riddler has a motivation, a twisted one, but a motivation to cleanse the city from corruption. On the other hand, the Joker, who will have you know shows up in a cameo at the film's ending scene, only wants evil for the sake of fun and evil. The movie provides a fresh take after 14 movies, which is telling of the actors and the team behind the film's skill. If there's one word that can define this film, it's intense. The action is intense, the villain is intense, the Batman himself is intense. What is our final verdict regarding the film's rating? Drum rolls, please. The film captures the essence of Batman in a refreshing take that goes from action to psychological thriller to horror movie at times, making the lengthy 2022 of The Batman a fantastic masterpiece of the classic DC superhero. We've rated the film a 4.5 out of 5. It's definitely a must-watch for any fan of Batman, and even for those who don't know about this fantastic superhero. So what do you think about The Batman 2022? Do you agree with our review of the film? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time for more.